Hey there, everyone. Meteorologist Robert Spetta here with you. Just a quick update before I head off to work today because tracking Tropical Storm Mangkhut. This storm system is expected to intensify into a major tropical system before impacting the United States. And yes, I said that right. It is headed towards Guam and Saipan. Those are United States territories expected to impact those islands as we head through Sunday and into Monday. Here's the latest look on the track from the Japan Meteorological Agency. They did upgrade this storm this evening here to Mangkhut, a tropical storm, winds of 35 gusting to 50 knots, expecting it to continue to intensify over the course of the next 72 hours up to a typhoon as it does approach Guam out here. It's being a look at the Joint Typhoon Warning Center's track. Now, this is going to be the warning agency for Guam and Saipan. They put out their own warnings because they're from the United States here. So they are expecting the storm system also to intensify as it passes Guam with winds about 100 to 110 knots sustained, which is enough to cause some damage. Actually, the strongest storm in some years out here if this does exactly take place. And then beyond that, as it moves towards the west north of Yap, it is expected to intensify into a super typhoon. Winds of 135 gusting to 165 knots. That's this plot way off here towards the west. So let's take a close look at Guam before I get into the long range. We can time this out here with our storm system intensifying, moving towards the north of Chuk, well towards the northwest of Kwajalein, really moving through an area of favorable development out here. And what I mean by that is we have very warm sea surface temperatures, 30 degrees or higher, low vertical wind shear, all the ingredients for a tropical system to thrive. And not only thrive, but also intensify here. Moving off towards the west, and then as we head into Sunday, really Monday evening, this passes. Now, according to the ECMWF, just south of Guam. Would not be fantastic news for Guam. That means that you would be taking the brunt of this storm. The good news is that the bulk of the population of the island is on the west coast of it, but still, that means the storm surge would be seen here on the east coast, as well as some pretty significant damaging winds in this particular situation. Model consensus has been fairly in agreement, though. The storm moving pretty much right over Guam. And now, what you're looking at here, I know it's a lot of information, but that really you have all these different areas of low pressures. Now, this is the NCEP or the GFS ensemble. And it has this developing right here and moving right over Guam. And look how tight the model ensembles are. Basically pushing it right over the next 72 hours to about 96 hours. Not much debate. But then let's talk about the long range here. This is what a lot of people have questions about, especially over towards the Philippines. The good news for you, look at the southern extent of these ensembles. They really keep the Philippines out of it. Maybe the Batanes Islands just off here towards the north, but overall the ensembles kind of keep it within that field right there in Taiwan, really taking the brunt of this storm if that does take place out here. So just one thing I do want to know, the vast majority of the models, pretty much all of them, scream for a landfalling storm system in the long range for Taiwan and the southwestern islands of Japan. And that includes, yes, those of you in Okinawa. Let's go through some of the models here. Now, this is first GFS based on the 0Z run here on the 8th, moving off towards the northwest, passing just south of Guam, running around the Westpac High located over here. But basically, we don't see any significant troughing, or at least troughing strong enough to pick this up. The storm system's going to be a beast by there, so it's going to have to be a decent trough to come down and develop this or grab it and pull it towards the northeast, heading on a recurvature scenario. So that pulls us into Saturday night, into Sunday, just a beast, I tell you, of a storm system coming on shore there, according to the GFS next week. And compare that up with the CMC, that's this right here, and the NavGem, very similar outputs. And how about the ECMWF, also coming in on shore there into Taiwan, still as a beast of a storm system. But the scariest output, I think, is with the GFS screaming for the last several days with this model outlook there into southwestern Okinawa and also over towards Taiwan. Oh, this storm system, just a beast. Right now, moving towards northwest, and this is a classic scenario. Every time I see a storm like this, and this is why I'm making these updates so soon, every time I see a storm like this, hanging out here about 160 to 170 east, south of 20 degrees north, it has plenty of ample moisture, decent environment out ahead of it. That typically means a beast. a very strong storm system. So Mangkhut, I feel we got to keep a close eye on this one, guys. All right. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay safe out there.